The saint who forgave his killers. The courage of Blessed Jerzy Popiełuszko. What would you do if speaking the truth could get you killed? Would you stay silent, or would you still stand for God, even if the world turned against you? In communist Poland, a young priest faced that very choice. He was not a soldier. He carried no weapons, only a rosary, a Bible, and an unshakable faith in Jesus Christ. His name was Jerzy Popiełuszko, and his story proves that courage is not the absence of fear. It is love stronger than fear itself. It was the early 1980s. Poland was locked under the iron grip of communist rule. Freedom was crushed. The church was watched. Speaking of God, or truth, was dangerous. And yet, in the small parish of St. Stanislaus Kostka in Warsaw, something remarkable began to happen. Each Sunday, crowds gathered, not to protest, but to pray. Their priest, Father Jerzy, spoke softly but powerfully. His words were filled not with politics, but with light. Overcome evil with good. Do not hate. Pray for your enemies. People wept. Soldiers listened. The oppressed found courage again. The church became the heartbeat of hope. But the government called him the enemy of the state. His sermons were secretly recorded. His phone was tapped. He was followed, threatened, beaten. Still, he refused to stop preaching the gospel of freedom. He once said, "Truth cannot be destroyed by lies. It only shines brighter in the dark." The arrest and the final night. On October 19th, 1984, Father Jerzy celebrated what would be his last Mass. He prayed for peace. He spoke of forgiveness. And as he left the church that evening, a car stopped him on the road. 3 secret police officers emerged. They beat him, bound him, and drove him away into the night. For days, Poland searched and prayed. 10 days later, his body was found in the Vistula River, bruised, tortured, lifeless. He was only 37 years old. The people of Poland wept. But they also rose up. 500,000 came to his funeral, whispering the words he had lived and died for. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Even his mother, standing beside the coffin, was seen clutching her rosary, whispering through tears, "May God forgive them." Father Jerzy's death did not silence him. In fact, his voice only grew louder. His sermons were recorded and spread across Poland like wildfire. They reminded a broken nation that the gospel is not just comfort, it's confrontation with injustice. He showed that holiness is not weakness. Holiness is resistance. When you choose love over hate, forgiveness over vengeance, truth over safety. In his homilies, he often said, "To live in truth means to refuse to live in fear." That's what made him dangerous to tyrants. Not because he carried weapons, but because he carried Christ. His courage came not from pride, but prayer. He spent hours before the Blessed Sacrament, often whispering, "Lord, use me as your tool, even if I must be broken." And that's exactly what happened. His blood became the seed of renewal. After his death, the movement for freedom only grew stronger. 5 years later, the world watched as Poland broke free from communism. His sacrifice had not been in vain. A heart that chose mercy. What makes Blessed Jerzy's story so moving isn't just his bravery, it's his mercy. He forgave his killers before they even touched him. He never spoke hate, even when hate surrounded him. He said, "We must never fight violence with violence. The Christian weapon is truth and love." When one of the officers responsible for his death was later released from prison, he visited Jerzy's grave. He knelt, sobbing, and whispered, "Forgive me." No one knows what he felt in that moment, but many say they saw peace on his face as he walked away. Perhaps he finally realized, love always wins. Blessed Jerzy Popiełuszko was not a superhero. He was just a man, gentle, shy, even frail. But when he chose to live fully for God, he became unstoppable. He reminds us that faith is not about comfort, it's about conviction. When you stand for the gospel, you will face resistance. But as Jerzy showed, you can still stand with grace. His life is a call to all of us, to speak truth when lies are easier, to forgive when revenge feels justified, to love when the world teaches hate. The Church canonized him as blessed in 2010, calling him a martyr of truth. But for those who still light candles at his grave, he is more than a martyr. He is a mirror of Christ in our time. Today, more than 40 years after his death, Father Jerzy's message remains alive. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Those words are not a slogan, they are a revolution of the heart. Because the world does not change through hate or violence. It changes when one soul chooses love, even when it hurts. You may not face persecution or tyranny, but every day you have a chance to live courageously, to speak kindly when others gossip, to forgive when wounded, to pray when the world forgets God. That is how saints are made, not in palaces, but in the hidden choices of the heart. So tonight, as you reflect on the life of Blessed Jerzy Popiełuszko, ask yourself, what truth am I afraid to live? What love am I afraid to show? And then remember his words. Truth is not always comfortable, but it is always liberating. May his courage inspire yours. May his forgiveness soften your heart. And may his sacrifice remind you that one faithful life, lived fully for Christ, can change a nation and echo through eternity. Because when faith becomes fearless, heaven moves.